Hey friends, as you guys saw by the title, I'm going to give my 2 cents on the div controversy that was happening over the last couple weeks. Whenever I think of how to recommend buffing or nerfing things in video games, the first thing that I usually ask is what makes the strong thing strong. Divinity is, in my opinion, the single strongest exotic in the entire game. It makes it so that crits are super easy to hit, and it also makes it so that there's a 30% debuff throughout the entire fight. So there are two questions we have to ask. One, what is the weapon's identity? And two, what about it is so strong? And I guess for the third. Third, what can we cut or change in a way? First question, weapon's identity. This gun makes crits. It makes crit bubbles. That's the identity. That is why Divinity is good. That's why you would use Divinity. It's for the crits. At least in a perfect world. But, as you can see, every single person uses it. Even on bosses like Oryx, where the crit is super easy to hit already. So, then why are people using it so much? Next question. I forgot what the question was. Anyway, spoiler alert, it's because it's a 30% damage buff for the entire fight. That's why. That is the reason why it is so strong. It's the only thing in the game that will give you a 30% damage buff throughout the entire fight. That is absurd how good it is. Better than everything else. Void grenades weaken 15%. Tether is 30%, but it lasts for 10 seconds. And Mobius Quiver doesn't last for much longer than that. Yeah, Deadfall only lasts for 10 seconds, and Mobius lasts longer. So, go figure. So, what do we change about Divinity? I think that the crit bubble is perfectly fine. I think that if you want to sacrifice one person's damage so the rest of your team can hit their crits easier, that's completely fine. I think it's a completely fair trade. It's just the fact that it's a 30% debuff on top of that, and there's nothing else in the game that does that, nearly to its degree. So, we gotta choose one thing. We gotta nerf the debuff, or we gotta nerf the crit. I don't want to nerf the crit. I think it has its place. I think it has its uses, such as Rolk, where it is so fucking hard to hit him. even with a rocket launcher, his entire hitbox is just so small, and it is moving so fast. Don't get me wrong, that's my favorite boss in the entire game. It is so much fun. It is the single best boss. The rest of the encounter isn't very fun, but the actual boss fight is the best in the entire game, in my opinion. Um, it's needed for that, and it's probably going to be needed for later raids, such as the Lightfall raid, if they keep it up like that, which I hope they do. But what could they do to make it work, to make it more balanced? I would say make the debuff either 10 or 15%. No, you don't need to get rid of it. Just make it less. That's the first thing that I would do. Two, make it so that we get better weaken effects. This is why I have Skull of Dire Ahamkara on. And I actually just pulled it for collections because I've never used it before. Which is exactly my point. This is an exotic I've never used before in Destiny 2, and I've auto-sharded every single one that I've gotten, because there's no use to get it. What does it do? Nova Bomb kills. Get super energy. That is so ass. I'm sorry, but in today's day and age, this does not cut it, PUBG. I'm sorry. So, how about we do this? Why not Skull of Dire Ahamkara, if you have it equipped, because Cataclysm and Vortex do basically the same damage either way. It's just one tracks and one bosses can walk out of. How about this? Skull of Dire Ahamkara, on top of giving it ability regen, or super regen rather, on kills, how about increases Cataclysm's Nova Bomb's damage? Just like exotics such as Curus. Curus of the Falling Star. Curus is perfect for Titans. And perfect for the ability that it's buffing. It gives you an overshield, so whenever you're just going head first and doing a shit ton of damage, you're also getting an overshield so you can get out of there. Real nice. Very well designed exotic. So, why don't you just have it so that the Nova Bomb trackers on Cataclysm do increased damage? Whereas seeks the target and shatter into smaller seeker projectiles, make it so those seekers do a lot more damage when you have Skull of Dire Ahamkara equipped. Next, Nova Bomb Vortex. If you have Skull of Dire Ahamkara equipped, make it so that this weakens. Make it so it lasts a lot longer, and make it so that it gives a 30% debuff. I think that'd be really cool. You'd probably have to rework it overall. Maybe in PvE, you just make it not a PvE, make it PvP. Make it so that it does very little damage in PvE. But then if you slap on Skull of Dire Ahamkara, it lasts for 20 seconds compared to like 5, maybe 25, and then it gives a 30% debuff. You don't have to play around with it because that might just be completely better than Cataclysm. If you do not do the damage right. Maybe you just make it so that Nova Bomb Vortex doesn't benefit from debuffs. I don't know. There's a million things you could do. A million things. But I think that will be a really good idea. Make it never used exotic that people just have lying around in their vaults or just auto sharding. Give it a purpose. Give us a reason to use it. Nobody really goes seeking. When was the last time someone asked for you to go Void Walker outside of like all Void runs for King's Fall? I haven't played Void Walker since I did this right here. This was the last time. Never did it again. I love Void Walker. It's just there's a lot more stuff that's stronger than it. Even though it has one of the best neutral games in the entire game. With Devour being one of, if not the single best aspect in the entire game. For a personal neutral game. So, how about you do that? That'd be cool. It takes up your exotic slot. So that's the balance of that. Because otherwise you'd be using Verity's Brow. Or Nezarec Sin for more abilities. As I've done a video going over Verity's Brow and how strong that is. How about we give it a reason to use Skull of Dire Ahamkara. Next, let me see. Let me pull. Do I have an Orpheus rig? Damn, I don't even have an Orpheus rig. Okay, well I can't pull one because I'm out of Glimmer. But Deadfall Tether. We already see with Orpheus Rig that it gives Mobius Quiver a third shot, which gives it a lot of damage. A lot of damage. Makes it really good. How about Deadfall Tether, which the only upside that has a Mobius Quiver is the shorter cooldown. That's the only thing it has over it. Mobius Quiver may not last as long as Tether, but you can use it 3 times if you have Orpheus Rig, which effectively gives it like a 20-second timer. I don't know the numbers, but you know what I fucking mean. How about if you're using Orpheus Rig, make Deadfall last 30 seconds. Make it last the length of the entire fight. That in itself will make it super good. Make it probably use more than Mobius Quiver. Maybe not. Who knows? But just do it. Just do it. Why not? There's no real reason not to. Just do it. But what is it do now for Deadfall? Let's see. I actually don't even know what it does for Deadfall. I think it. Let me see. There it is. Deadfall provides ability energy for each target tethered by Deadfall anchors. That is so ass. that is even worse than I thought. I thought it gen to orbs. I thought it gen more orbs. At least that's somewhat useful. But no, it's literally useless. Okay, well, Bungie will probably never see it, but that's my idea for what to do. Make it so that Deadfall is actually, like, used, period. Make it so that Skull of Daira Hamkara is used, period. Make it so that people might actually want a Voidwalker on their fire team. Just an idea. Thank you all for watching, and as always, have a good day.